with Dio.
Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome. It is Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. And today's Friday. Today is Friday, March 17. How are you doing, by the way? How are you doing? Hope you've had a fine week today, and hope today, this Friday, has been a good. Also having feelings. I've got a hunch as well. I have been having those lately as well. Also, hunches. I mean, it's funny that they're so rampant these days. There's feelings, these hunches, and I'm trying to put my finger in, trying to put a finger in it, but I can't quite grab it, So here's the hunch. I've got a hunch that there's something major happening tomorrow. It's a hunch. It's a feeling, and that's where you come in. I need for you to help me with what this hunch could possibly mean. What does this hunch mean? What does this feeling mean, really? What's happening tomorrow? What is happening tomorrow? If you have any idea, pray tell, let me know. Send a message in via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. We are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. We are live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Also, and by the way, you check us out on YouTube also. That's Nigeria Info PH. So once again, I've got a hunch, got a feeling that today is the eve of something. What is that thing? Help me out. Let's hear from you. Now, we have observed, if you've been following our programming today on the station, we're not taking calls today, and that rule applies to our hard facts for today as well. So, if you'd like to join the show, I know you'd like to. You can do so still. Just send a message via 030416. That's 089 030616. Also via facebook.com for Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. So, what is it that's happening tomorrow? Once again, a hunch. Help me out. I'll get this in a moment. Once again, welcome now to Sender for today's discussion. You're welcome to join in. But do remember, once again, can't take your calls today. Well, rules to rule. And however, you can join in still via Twitter, via Facebook, and via WhatsApp. So how about a quick preview of what to expect on the show today? Let's see. I do have signed comments coming up shortly. Just random stories and random thoughts that caught my attention as I checked them out. I'll get your thoughts on those much later on. They're not to be discussed now, but during the open season segment after the 6 p.m. major news. So as I said, now to the 6 p.m. major news, I'll take your thoughts on my side comment and all the other matters discussed on the show today during the open season segment as we review every matter that's been discussed or come up on the show. So let's see on some issues. But once again, you have been brilliant. You've been absolutely wonderful this week, right from Monday, helping to educate those who are not educated, who say they are seeking enlightenment when what they should seek first is an education. Those persons who, regardless of all that they've been experiencing and going through, still have no idea, no understanding how governance affects them and what their roles and responsibilities are in electing, in the formation of government. I'll get you to help out on that later on, in a moment, during today's rant. You've been, once again, thank you very much. You have been awesome throughout this week from Monday. The educated percentage of the GPRS, the people of River State. The other side, without forget, only then can you be enlightened. Without enlightenment, once again, with Persian right to nose, you have no idea it's there. No idea at all. Completely clueless. Bereft. I'll take source to 4 o'clock with this be taken seriously. And in particular, well, the entire Nigeria police force, but more specifically, the River State Police Command, or should I say the River State Police Command, and by extension, the entire Nigeria Police Force. Now, this was in our news earlier today. Assistant Inspector General of Police supervising elections in River State, AIG Kayode Egbetokun, has warned anybody capable of disrupting Saturday's governorship and House of Assembly elections to steer clear. AIG Egbetokun gave the warning during a press briefing at the police headquarters in Port Harcourt. He said he will enforce the full weight of the law on anyone caught acting contrary to the provisions of the law. I'll take a quick look at the police officer. Maybe warning, whatever term you prefer to use for it. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. Just a moment. Okay, I'm having some trouble finding that. Is it here somewhere? Just a moment.
In this election, we are committed to ensuring a peaceful conduct. We will not allow this election. We are committed to ensuring peaceful conduct. And in doing this, we are going to enforce all laws relating to this election strictly. We will enforce all the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We will enforce.
The AIG also urged citizens to come out and exercise their franchise because the police and other sister agencies have made adequate deployment to ensure a hitch-free election.
We are deploying massively for this election. We are committed to policing this election effectively and satisfactorily. All persons who are criminally minded have change of mind. We are security agents. We have provided level playing ground for all the candidates in this election. Our men have already taken post and we are ready for Saturday. All areas are covered by our deployment. The deployment we have here now covers everywhere. Nowhere is being left open.
Let's see. Now, AIG Egbetokun also said the restrictions order from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on movement of vehicles will be strictly enforced.
Let me seize this opportunity to warn that restriction order on movement of vehicles during the conduct of this election will be strictly enforced. Everyone is advised to take this warning seriously, and if they are arrested, they will not be spared. So I advise all citizens of Rivers State to please follow the rules. The rule is that there will be restriction of movement, vehicular movement during the period of voting from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So everyone is advised to comply with this instruction.
And he assured Rivers people that the Saturday's election in Rivers State will improve because the police have learned from the mistakes of the presidential election.
That the synergy that is existing between the police and other sister agencies in this state will be taken advantage of in this coming election. The 3 weeks period that we have between the last election and now have been utilized to cross our T's and dot our I's in preparing for this election. We therefore look forward to a better election on Saturday.
So, we'll discuss this. Are you convinced that the police have learned anything, really? And speaking of the police, as the chief domestic security agency in the country, what impact has the Nigeria Police Force had on elections in Nigeria over the years, and even these elections as well? I'd like to get your take on this in the 4 o'clock hour, after the updates. The business news, pardon me. That's 6 to 5. We've got the updates then at 5 p.m. And after that, what comes up next? TVC or no TVC? INEC asks appeal court to set aside judgment on temporary voters' cards. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. I've got a commercial break coming up right now. I'll return after that. Discussions continue on today's edition of Hard Facts. Please stay with us. Hello and welcome back to Hot Factor Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm your number one talk station. Let's talk. Discussions continue. So, just giving you a preview of what to expect on the show today. So, yeah, for the 5 o'clock hour, after the news update, INEC asked appeal court to set aside judgment on temporary voter cards. Now, here's the story. Remember that incident? Remember that some persons went to court, praying the court to order INEC to allow them use their TVC in tomorrow's election? And for the governorship and the state house of assembly elections, and INEC doesn't like that. INEC appealed that. Yeah, that's a matter. Here's the story. INEC has approached the Court of Appeal Abuja asking it to set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, which ordered it to allow electorates with temporary voter cards vote at the governorship and National Assembly elections billed for Saturday, March 18. It has sued the electoral body, applying for an order of injunction against execution of the judgments delivered on March 9, directing them to allow the respondent to use their temporary voter cards in lieu of the permanent voter cards for the 2023 general elections, pending the determination of its appeal. In its 3 grounds of appeal, INEC held that the Federal High Court Abuja erred in its judgment when it dismissed its position that allowing the use of the TVC would amount to usurpation of the powers of the National Assembly under Item 2 of the concurrent legislative list. It faulted the trial court for declaring that PVC was not mentioned in the Constitution or the Electoral Act as a condition to be allowed to vote, or as the only means a voter will be entitled to be verified, accredited, and to vote. Well, you might remember that Justice Obiora Egwatu of the Federal High Court had in his judgment ordered INEC to allow Koforola Olusegun and Wilson Orwell to take part in the elections with their TVCs. The plaintiffs had lamented that despite their effort and repeated visits to INEC office, they were unable to obtain their PVCs before February 6, which the electoral body fixed as deadline for collection of the cards. Yep. We'll talk about this. So the appeal court has not determined this appeal one way or another. So what's going on right now? What is the status quo, if you will? And I'll be asking as well, what will be the impact of allowing the use of TVC in tomorrow in the election? By the way, Barrister Richard Wokocha, Associate Professor of Public Law at the Rivers State University, joins me for that conversation, or this conversation in the 5 o'clock hour. All right, so let's get things going now. Let's see. I asked a question earlier on at the start of the show today. I asked, I did mention to you that I've got a hunch that today is the eve of something big happening tomorrow. What is it? I've got some responses here. Let's see. Election Christmas, that's from Nathan God Power. Okay, all right. Eve of the Ides of March, where many structured politicians will be retired by structureless entities. Okay, all right. Tomorrow is the day where the good people of Rivers State will go out and exercise their constitutional mandate by casting the votes to decide who will govern them. That's from Amos. We're going to employ people tomorrow who will manage our money, state and resources. We're employing them tomorrow to manage our affairs for the next 4 years. That's from Ernest. Tomorrow is the beginning of Happy Hour, where we would happily go and vote in good leadership. That's from Peter Oz. Tomorrow, we're not going to die there, but we'll stay there till something positive happens. Diet tomorrow is rolled wear your jeans day. We will be proving to some people that it's not by ungratefulness or having structures, but it's about having the support of the people because power belongs to the people. We are coming all out to vote tomorrow. That's from Mike. Greetings, Diet. The feeling you're having is wear your jeans. It's time to wear your jeans. Wear your jeans. That's from Henry Woko. Hi, Diet. Your hunch is correct. It's a state governorship and a House of Assembly elections. Chibuke said that. All right, sir. Thank you very much for those responses, by the way, and that has helped me a great deal. I knew I had a hunch, so that's it. That's what happened tomorrow. As the governorship and state houses of assembly elections across the country taking place, including in Rivers State as well. Thank you very much for that once again. So let's keep things going out with today's. Do I have any side comments today? Side comments, random stories that caught my attention earlier on, and my thoughts on these random stories. The family of Owokiri in Alu community has raised alarm over the arrest of its son Kingsley Owokiri by members of a local vigilante popularly known as OSPAC. His elder brother, Rainer Owokiri, told our correspondent Kingsley was arrested at about 4 p.m. yesterday in Alu by members of OSPAC. Owokiri said no reason was given and the family is not aware of his whereabouts. Rhino also said the matter has been reported to the Rivers State Police Command. Commander of OSPAC in Alu, Obinuchi Wodu, when contacted, declined comment, saying he is in a meeting, but PRO of the Rivers State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, says investigation is ongoing. You know, I mean, I'm kind of tired of talking about OSPAC, really, and all the other pseudo security outfits out there. You know, vigilante groups. I mean, it's gotten boring and stale somewhat. Really, but it's important that it's addressed nonetheless, as boring as it is. You know, we had a problem on our hands, a problem of insecurity. Rather than fixing it, we created a fix, if you know what I mean. Rather than fix the problem, what we did was create a fix, something that gave us a temporary high, and it has become a monster right now, a somewhat or seemingly uncontrollable monster. This OSPAC of a thing. You know, remember that time I said we can't sleep with our eyes closed. Then OSPAC came and people started sleeping with one to thirds eye closed. You know, and now they can't even sleep at all in many cases. Now we hear that OSPAC visits people at home in the dead of the night, pick them up, they disappear and they never found again. Now we get reports of OSPAC killing people, shooting them. Now we hear of OSPAC kidnapping, abducting people. Now we have OSPAC detaining people. Now we have OSPAC, we have collecting, collecting bail, demanding and extorting people, collecting bail from people. Now we have OSPAC settling family issues, settling land disputes, settling relationship matters. We now hear OSPAC is now recovering debts as well. I mean, it's unbelievable, really. And for some reason I can't comprehend, government has simply allowed it to continue, and has chosen to do nothing about it, and has decided to do nothing about it, and I just don't understand, really. You know, I just can't comprehend it. How can something pose such a threat to the peace of society, and government's response is to do nothing about it? It just doesn't make any sense. I do hope that this fellow who was taken by OSPAC, I very much hope so, that his fate is not the same as others that OSPAC have been reported to have taken away and they were never seen again. I hope that's not his fate. I very much hope so. And Rivers State Civil Society organizations has appealed to Governor Nyesom Wike to pay the salary arrears of teachers of demonstration secondary schools in the state. In an open letter to Governor Wike, chairman of the organization, Enefa George Will, said it is unexpected that the governor, who has continually spoken against injustice and oppression, will not obey a court judgment that asks the state government to pay the teachers their salary arrears. Yeah, I remember seeing this one earlier in the morning as well, and I've talked about this the last couple of days also, I do believe. So I hope the River State governor will look into this and pay the teachers in the demonstration schools. I very much hope so. All right, was there anything else that caught my attention as I checked out the news today? Let's see. To be informed, the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, has declared today, the eve of Election Day, as a public holiday to enable civil servants take part in the governorship and State House of Assembly elections. The governor said this during a statewide live broadcast yesterday. Let's take a listen to some of what the governor had to say on that broadcast. Do I have that? I'm not sure that I...
I hereby declare Friday, March 17, 2023 as a public holiday to enable all private and public sector workers to travel to their communities and vote in their polling units. Finally, I thank the people of Rivers State for your prayers, support, and cooperation since we took over the levers of governance.
All right, so the civil servants, I hope you're enjoying a holiday. I don't think that those in the private sector got a holiday today, and they probably are not pleased about that. Well, I definitely did not get a holiday, or at least no one told me I did. Anyways, I think that's that for today's side comments. Let's see. So let's just move into, let's just transition straight into today's rant. So send me a message via WhatsApp, via Facebook, via Twitter. Via WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Let's see. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, via Twitter as well, at Nigeria Info PH. If you're voting tomorrow, why is it important to be a part of the elections tomorrow? Is what I'm asking now. I'm not asking you who you don't want to vote for. I'm not asking you who you want to vote for. I'm not asking you why you want to vote for the person. I'm asking you to educate those who do not know, who are not as educated as you are, on the importance of being a part of the electoral process and why you have chosen to be a part of the elections that's taking place tomorrow. That's what I want right now. And you have to do some typing. I know. It's easier to talk on the phone than to type. I mean, I personally prefer to talk on the phone than to type. You know, I don't do a lot of WhatsApp, you know, or a lot of chatting, if you will. I don't. If it's entirely necessary, yes, but otherwise, I rarely do it. You know, I prefer to just pick up the phone, dial the number, have a conversation, no matter how brief or long that conversation might be, than to just endlessly start typing away. But once again, when it's entirely necessary, I can chat, I can type, and I suppose now is an example of an entirely necessary situation. Okay, I don't know about the entirely part, but it is necessary for the purpose of our conversations on the show today. So, do make an effort. Type that message. Send it via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. That's 0809 030 6416. Or via Facebook, where we're live at the moment. That's facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, or via Twitter. Incidentally, we are live there as well. That's at Nigeria Info PH. All right, tomorrow is when the politically literate will go out and cast their votes. Down to Henry Simon. Yes, those who are politically literate, not the illiterates. The illiterates are still looking for enlightenment. It's the eve of election, and they're still looking for enlightenment. That's the thing. The election is tomorrow, and if you ask them now, they are still looking for enlightenment. They're still waiting for the National Orientation Agency to come to their homes, to their houses, or just meet them along the road, along the street to enlighten them. We're still waiting for they are waiting right now for the media to enlighten them. All that the media has been doing for weeks, for months, for years. No, that's not enough. They're probably waiting for the Hard Facts crew, or the Morning Crossfire crew, or the Sunnyside crew, or the Hello Port Harcourt crew, or any of the crews of the other shows to visit, to pay them a personal visit at home, to enlighten them. But you've got an education, so and by virtue of that, you are constantly enlightened. You know how important this is. So you send a message in right now. Hopefully we can give them an education, or you can help give them an education. So hopefully they might get some enlightenment, hopefully, fingers crossed, before the elections upon us tomorrow. So that's it. I've got some more messages over here. Good afternoon. Tomorrow today, our excellencies and honorables will have a date with the Beavers. It'll be the day with the Rivers people would never allow those that have something to do with certain things not good for us to occupy Government House and the Assembly any longer. Hello there. We will go all out to vote for candidates of our choice. It's our own part to play, and we'll leave INEC to play their own part. That's from Kinsley. Today, I implored to come out to exercise their franchise peacefully and encourage others. Our votes must count this time. INEC promised. Joel Adolphus from Degima sent that. This person who's making this call right now is probably one of those who needs enlightenment. Those people who are not enlightened, who are walking around looking for enlightenment now. And I've said severally that I am not taking calls on the show today. No calls at all. Strictly messaging, either via Twitter, via Facebook, or via WhatsApp. And some person's calling, dialing the number right now. Obviously, somebody who needs enlightenment. Obviously, somebody who is looking for enlightenment. So, once again, facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. Drop your comments there. Also via Twitter, @NigeriaInfoPH. Why are you taking part in the... Are you going to be a part of the elections tomorrow? And why? Why is it important? Why is it important to be a part of the process? Why was it important to get registered to vote? Why was it important to get your PVC? All the hassles you had to go through. Why was it important for you to have voted? And you did in the presidential and National Assembly elections, and you were pleased with the outcome of it. Fantastic. Or maybe you weren't pleased with the outcome, or maybe you think there were some shortcomings that shouldn't have happened at all. But in spite of all of this, you're still going to be a part of tomorrow's elections. You're still going to go out to vote. As a matter of fact, you want to be a part of it even more than the presidential and National Assembly elections. I want to hear from you. Help provide some education to the likes of this person who is dialing my number right now, who is looking for enlightenment. Let's see. Oibugwai Michael goes, now it's time for the last fight for their common destiny, especially as it relates to people going to represent the people in the State Assembly. The public holiday approved by our governor is just good. Let's come out and vote tomorrow again, because I believe INEC will like to redeem its image by making BVAS work well this time. And the military has assured us of force against troublemakers. I want to crave the indulgence of all well-meaning Rivers people to go all out and vote the candidate of their choice. But before you do that, please eschew politics of sentiment and vote somebody that can revitalize and take the state to the paths of prosperity. That's Ned Aguma. The reason why I've decided to vote is to make and bring about the needed change that I crave. I want to dream of a better river state, a river state that can favorably compete with Lagos State, and I see a man that can do that. So I want to be proud that I'm a part of those who give our children a bright future and change how we're used to doing things. That's from Chibike. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's fantastic. I mean, it's about now, yes, but it's even more. It's more about the future as well. The future is critical. Now is important. Now is very important. The future is critical. The future is critical. I've been getting a lot more education, a lot more educated by reading these messages. A lot more educated. I mean, I can see enlightenment all over me right now. I can see enlightenment everywhere I turn in the studio. I'm seeing enlightenment. You know how I'm seeing enlightenment? Kind of like, the movie The Matrix, when Neo, the one played by Keanu Reeves, when he's looking in the Matrix and he can see the codes right in front of him, like nobody else can. None of the others could. Not Morpheus, not Trinity. None of the others could do that. But he could see the codes right in front of him, like the codes were just like dropping everywhere in front, all around him. That time, kind of like the way, when law-abiding, peaceful citizens say they want to embark on a peaceful protest. You know how for the Nigeria Police Force, Rivers State Command also, how intelligence reports always falls from the sky. It's really intelligence reports. Everywhere you look, you can see intelligence reports, like codes of the Matrix. That's how I'm seeing enlightenment right now. After reading all these wonderful, brilliantly crafted messages, I have received an education, and I am seeing enlightenment everywhere. Everywhere I turn in the studio right now, I'm seeing enlightenment all around me. I'm being enlightened right now. I can feel my cells getting nourished with enlightenment. I can feel my white blood cells, exploding with enlightenment. It's incredible. It's incredible, really. I can feel my brain expanding. I hope it doesn't burst through my cranium, because the enlightenment is just so much. The enlightenment is just so much. All right? Yeah. I will definitely go out tomorrow to vote, as I believe my vote will make a difference. I will also encourage everyone, every adult voter out there, to go out and vote, as BVAS is a game changer. That's from Ibifu Barra. Yes. Good afternoon, Dar. You are a great crusader of a good nation. We must collectively demand for good governance by voting wisely. Dar, you hardly play the songs of great Majak Fashak, at least in between the show. In fact, I lead Holy Spirit by the Mashak. That's from Kinsley. Kinsley, maybe ordinarily, I don't know, but we're not a music station, so we don't take requests. So sorry about that. I may not be able to oblige your request. But good to know you're listening, by the way, and thanks for your message. Good evening, Dial. By tomorrow, we will go out all out to exercise our civic responsibility and to claim our desired mandate. But I hope it will be peaceful and fair. The youth should desist from electoral violence and stop being used by those desperate politicians. Maxwell Ina said that. Good afternoon, I will be hitting my polling units with my phone camera on and ensure I video any irregularities observed during the election. That's from Pascal Opara. Pascal, you do that. You do that. But be careful, though, all right? Be conscious of what's happened around you and be careful for your safety. But you do that. You cover that and you let the whole world know. If one of those people who are looking for enlightenment come to your polling unit and try to foment trouble, still taking those, educating messages right now. Why are you going to be a part of the election tomorrow? Why is it significant? Why is it important? Why? There must be a reason. There must be. You're educated enough to know that. So to send in those messages. That's it. 0809 030 6416 via WhatsApp, via Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Let's see. All right, good afternoon, Dial. Let's see. Tomorrow I will vote for good governance of Rivers State and employment of Rivers youths. Yes, indeed. All right. Good afternoon, D-Shark. As an ad hoc staff, I will carry out my electoral duties in line with the guidelines. I implore all the electorate of my ward and unit to come out and vote irrespective of the past experience. And answer Michael. Yes, indeed. Michael is going to play his role as an INEC ad hoc staff. He will not collect a bribe. He will not look the other way. He will ensure the proper things are done in line with the law. He's going to do that tomorrow because he understands. This is no child's play. It's serious business. He gets it. He appreciates it. You know? He gets it. He's educated. Are you? He's playing his role. Are you going to play your role as well? That's the big question. That's the big question here. And those who are looking for enlightenment, like this fellow who sent a message here via WhatsApp, I'm not reading messages of people who are not educated today. No offense to you, by the way. I'm not. No. I'm not reading messages of those who are looking for enlightenment. No. This show, the last week or so, and today's show especially, or at least this hour, is dedicated to the educated, the politically literate persons. Yeah. This is a conversation of literates, you know. This conversation does not allow for any redundancy, you know. We can't afford any redundancy here. You know, we can't allow for some beer parlor conversation, you know. We can't allow for pedestrian perspectives. No. We're above that now. We're educated now. We're seeing the light. We're enlightened. That's it. We don't do pedestrian any longer. So you can take a pedestrian conversation some other place. We're doing high. This might be above you. In fact, it might be safe for you to stay away if you kind of handle the amount of education coming your way, because it might just fly over your head. You might not even be able to understand what's going on. Commercial break coming up. Do please stay with us.
Hooray! Chief Mike Buyala, PhD, my friend, my boss, my father, husband, and my king. It's 59 years. I wish you happy birthday. Happy birthday, my champion.